Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. I'll give it a couple more minutes. All right, welcome everyone. If you have anything that you want to add into the agenda, feel free to do so. Um, if not, that's okay too. It's been a long day. But if nothing else, feel free to add yourself on the attendees list if you wish to. All right. Think we're good for now. Does anyone want to volunteer to take notes?
If you don't have any volunteers, I'll take care of it.
Thank you, David. All right. Let's just kick off. Welcome to the meeting. This is our twice a month meeting for the working platforms working group in the tag app delivery. Usually we start off by looking through the attendees to see if there's anyone new, if anyone wants to introduce themselves. Do we have anyone that's new? Okay.
Yeah, this Harshad, I'm joining this meeting or the group for the first time.
Welcome.
Yep. Yes, I'll quickly introduce myself. Yeah, this Harshad Pitkar here. I work for Cummins, based out of Columbus, Indiana. And I lead the Kubernetes platform team here at Cummins and been working on Kubernetes for a couple of years now. And yeah, this is my first meeting. What I'm trying to get out of this is um, understand what the objectives are of this group and see how I can contribute. And yeah, looking forward to work with you all.
Great to have you. If there is anything that you're, still wondering about after the meeting, feel free to just reach out in the working groups, the VG-platforms channel on Slack, and
Thanks,
we'll
Rahul.
try our best to get you sorted. And anyone else?
Hi, I'm Nicolas. I come from Italy. This is my first meeting of this type, and I'm working as a consultant for a bank and insurance. And I'm here to learn something new and try to contribute where I can,
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Neil. I'm a principal platform engineer for Move. It's my first time as well.
Welcome. I think that's about it, isn't it? Maybe. Yeah, sure. All right. Hey, Marsh, welcome. So, housekeeping, a little like quick updates. These are, some of these have a tendency of recurring in these meetings, but the tag itself is looking for new tech leads. Karina, who used to be a tech lead, went on to join the Technical Oversight Committee, TOC. And I, as a tech lead, is now going to be one of the co-chairs of the tag itself. So, a little bit, we don't have too many tech leads, at least. Let's just say it like that. So if anyone's interested, I saw there's now an open issue about that. So if there's some obvious, caveats to this. You kind of have to be participating in some of these meetings for a while, because you can't just like come running straight in to these types of roles. And yeah, I think the issue basically explains it well. So if anyone is interested in that type of role, then that's the issue to look for. We are still planning KubeCon North America 2024. There's an open issue there if you want to add something. I have some meetings with some of the people in this group, among other groups, about some of the content there. And the idea is just, hold on, Corbin. Let's see. There you go. That's the agenda and everything. So if you have any suggestions to activities that we can do at KubeCon, then that's the perfect issue to drop in some of those suggestions, and we'll try to make sure that everyone, I guess, heard at least. It's slightly, we don't know how much we are going to be able to do. There's a lot of stuff happening at KubeCon, so, but we try our best. All right. That's basically it for housekeeping. I didn't see anything else-wise that is, stuff that we should pull up in this meeting, at least. Does anyone have any other things besides the ongoing work that we're going to go into now? Any open things? Or is there anything? Does anyone have any pull requests that needs to be closed or want to get approved and stuff like that? Waiting for that. There's a bunch of them, not everything that easy to digest. No?
No, from my side.
Yeah, I approved all of yours.
I know, thanks.
All right. Well, then we can just go on to the platform as a product ongoing work. Who wants to go first?
I can go ahead. We'll see Dominic here too. I this morning I put in a interview tracking sheet in the research channel. So It's there for anyone to kind of take line items off of. There are 42 interview signups already. And if you have any additional that you want to add through your network or what have you, please use the sign up form for interview candidates to add them, and we will copy it over into the tracking form. This is to kind of protect email addresses that are collected in the form. And then, just go off and interview and ask for help. We'll review a bit more of the detail, but the tracking sheet has info about the different stages, whether or not people have been contacted, who took ownership of the record, who the primary and secondary. So all of that stuff is in there. And then we'll have a form that's in draft right now for people to submit their interview results, including what we expect everyone to be able to do video recordings, which we'll find a way for people to submit so that we can review in addition to any thoughts and notes that people have. I think that's about it. I know Dominic has been doing some work on the interview scripts as well.
Yeah, mainly Michael. He's working on the scripts right now. He should be done with the drafts this week. So then we can review that. Well, the builder script is done. The leader script is the one that's now being worked on.
And if you want to sign up to do interviews, please use the interviewer sign up form, which is also listed there, I believe, and we'll add you to the private Slack channel. And the reason it's private is just, there's no email addresses in the Slack channel, but just to keep it somewhat limited in terms of who sees what information from the interviewees. And that's that.
The link that's in the agenda meeting notes now, that's for to be interviewed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll clean up the links, I think, where someone, sign up to be interviewed is yes, that link.
Okay, because I think that link is for to be an interviewer.
Is it? Okay, we'll fix the links before
Yeah. I have a couple of clients and previous employers that I can send that link to. It will be.
Yep, and it's also just send them the blog post. That's the better thing to send rather than just a form.
Excellent.
I'll just put a note for myself to post. And also, Robert, you said you had access to LinkedIn. This would probably be a good place to publicize the blog post and the signups.
Right. That hasn't been done yet?
I don't know that it has.
Let's see. My LinkedIn is so full with stuff.
Okay. And is this a LinkedIn for CNCF or the tag specifically?
The tag app delivery one. If you want something amplified by the CNCF social media people, there is a channel for that. But there's also the I can pull some strings through the CNCF ambassador channels. They do a lot of amplification on social medias for ambassadors in general. So I think I can pretty easily get it into the tag app delivery LinkedIn, so people can start like sharing that, which is good for the tag app delivery in itself, because not the most visible group in the world. But I can make sure that the some of the more official channels share that as well.
Okay.
So put that up as a thing for me to do.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Does
Anybody
anyone have
any-
any questions, suggestions, topics?
Anybody have interviewees lined up? Heard a few. If you have any questions, just reach out to myself, Dominic, Michael Luskin.
What's for, like, when does analysis begin after interviews end? Is that a month,
I think we'll
3
be.
months? Like, what's
I think we're gonna. We got some feedback from Abby last time that it'd be good to do some intermediate feedback at least inside the group. So as soon as we get interviews, we'll probably try and find some insights from them.
Cool.
Yeah, I think as soon as we have the first data available, then it also makes sense to look over it. We just now need to start with the interviews. It's a bit of a dragging issue because of time restraints, but besides that, I think
And bottlenecks. We are now out of the way for the bottleneck part.
yeah.
Do you need more, David?
More
More interviewer ease?
absolutely, yeah, because I mean, we may run into scale problems with the number of interviewers, but then we'll also run into scheduling issues. So we probably need to hedge with a fair number of people who are interested in being interviewed. So yeah, I mean, if you want, I guess what I'll do is I'll make a I don't know how it works, Robert. If you make a LinkedIn post and then you repost on the tag, or you okay.
Well, any
Or
way you
post
want.
it directly from the tag.
I can post it directly through the tag LinkedIn, and then everyone else can share that if
Okay.
that makes more sense.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll publicize it, and then we'll drop that into the channel, and then everyone can kind of pass it around and get people to sign up. All right.
Perfect. So again, just open question. Anyone have any questions or suggestions? I know these months are usually the common or shared holiday, depending on how you translate it from Norwegian at least, where everyone's gone. So probably not a whole lot going on besides stuff behind the scenes. And again, I kind of touched on it lightly, but there's no changes in the tag structure when it comes to leadership and stuff like that. But we've gone through that a couple of times now. So
Hey, Robert, I do have one item if there's nothing else on the agenda for today.
shoot.
We have been discussing the platform maturity tool was an issue that I raised a couple months ago, I guess. It's been kind of ongoing in this meeting. And I think there was a document that we were working on to define the scope and outcomes. And I wanted to just make sure that other folks had a chance to review it if they wanted to.
There's a link to the issue in the ongoing work. Is there another link we can add?
Yeah,
Issue 635. Are there links in that?
I was just trying to find the actual document here. Just 1 second, and I'll post.
I
the
actually
link.
just there's this handy thing that said replace.
Yeah, I think it's the risk assessment tool version 001.
Yeah, there's a document called Target Audience and Outcomes that we were reviewing, and it's linked here. So I don't know if folks have had a chance. I know a few of us have commented in there. And I was wondering if there's any further discussion.
I just put a link to it. I know I haven't had a chance to look at it since we met last week.
The one that Steve Fenton added notes to?
Yes.
Okay.
Where was this? Is this just posted in discussion in the issues like originally? Because I must have missed this one.
Yeah, I put it in the platform notes as well.
All right, so it's the platform engineering assessment audience and outcomes document. That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about now.
target audience and outcomes.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the correct one, Corbin?
Yes.
Okay.
And I put the link in the chat as well.
All right, good. I'll make sure to look through it. This haven't popped up on my radar. Then again,
You're probably still catching up, right?
everything's slightly noisy at the moment anyway, so my radar looks horrible. But yeah.
I'll add it
I think
to
we
the
discussed it 2 weeks ago. Was it the last meeting? Like there was a big U.S. holiday in the middle that disrupted everyone's schedules. But yeah, from that we had a good discussion, and one of the things that came out of that was the who are we? Let's see if we can step back and identify who we're targeting, et cetera. And Steve jumped in to bootstrap a document, and then a few folks jumped in.
All right, cool. Good. Well, good job. I'll look through it and comment if I have anything. That might be a thing where we can maybe be a little bit proactive and create the agenda section for the next meeting and just have that as a follow-up thing already now, so it doesn't get lost in between changes of hosts and stuff like that. So I can set up for the next meeting, and we'll just add it.
Okay, thank you. And I think we had, trying to go back to the main issue. We did have a timeline that we were working against. And this was one of the sort of interim steps I think we wanted to accomplish based on our last discussion. So I want to make sure that we continue to work towards that date. Let me just bring up the main doc. So Abby was helping kind of shepherd this through. I think we had review and confirm format was July 12th. So that's coming up this week. So if you look at the main issue, there was another doc that we had shared, which I also posted. And the main things that we were looking to get from that was things like the general approach, the yes and no question format. We talked a lot about risk in the last meeting, which was 2 weeks ago. And whether that's the right idea, and then the output that provides prescriptive guidance. So those are the things. If you guys haven't reviewed that doc, that would be another one that we would want to try to wrap up, by the next meeting, I would say. And then I was chatting with Abby about the next steps here, and presuming we can come to agreement on the format, then I was talking to her about crowdsourcing the questions from the group as well. So we haven't landed exactly on how that's going to work quite yet, but hopefully I'll have that prepared for the next meeting in 2 weeks. But in order to get there, we have to kind of close off a couple of these other items first.
Hey, Corbin, I added to the notes that I think it's fair to say you're driving this and Abby's been sponsoring it. Is that accurate?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Any
Alright.
questions, comments, concerns from anybody on the team? And if you're new, please take a look at these docs and, bring your comments and participation.
Yeah, I was
to
just
get-
about to say it's this is an open forum. So if anyone that's new here sees something of interest, just jump into it. It's not like you have to get approval or anything. Just read through what's going on and comment where you want to and just raise your hand if there's anything in particular that you want to pursue. Yeah, I added it on the ongoing work for the next meeting. So it's something to keep track of that of. And yeah, it would be great if so the idea is that for the next meeting that the target audience part of this will get somewhat finished at least, or finished.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have maybe a little bit of time. I mean, I think we did kind of, to Marsha's point, like take a step back a little bit to figure out target audience and outcomes. So, but in order to keep us on track for the sort of rough timeline that we set out with, I do want to try to also try to address the sort of general format as well in the next couple weeks if we can. So I'm hoping that we can kind of discuss both documents in our next meeting so that we can move on to the next phase, which will be around the content itself. And I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about like the number of questions that are there and the type of language that we use, and there's going to be a lot of a lot of discussion that happens as a result of that. And so I think that's what I was discussing with Abby, like sort of the approach, which would be at least the way I was discussing with her so far. And I don't know if this is where we'll land, but just to give some ideas about what we've been discussing is, having folks submit questions. That way we get like lots of different points of view. I think that's kind of how she helped shepherd in the maturity model as well, is get folks to submit content. And then once we have that content, we can then narrow it down into a reasonable set of questions, and ones that, as a group, we feel are most appropriate.
Makes sense. Marsh?
So I think 2 weeks definitely makes sense to have this as an agenda item. One thing I was going to point out is that I think it was Julio's effort to do a blog post. Because this is a bi-weekly meeting, there's an off week time slot that is often free on people's calendars, and so we used that previously. So Corbin, if you want to take advantage of the off weeks as a way to grab people and get input in real time rather than chasing comments through Google Docs, that might work.
Well, we did that last week already. And
Oh, you did? Oh, great. Good.
yeah, I just posted a video in the notes from that deep dive.
Awesome. Great.
And there's no reason we can't do it again if it's a focus point.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as there's if there's nothing else happening that week on that time slot, then just feel free to have another one.
Yeah, and if you guys are open to participating at that time, I can work with Abby to see if she can help us get that set up as well. So I'll chat with her, over the next like day or so and see if we can get that put together. Super. Well, that's all I had. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. All right. Any final thoughts? Feel that as soon as we get over the 30-minute mark, then at least we like had a proper meeting.
Marsh, did you want to discuss the did you drop in the hype cycle?
No, that wasn't me.
Why did I think we talked about it last time, right?
We talked about it last time.
Okay.
Or I poo-pooed it last time. That's what it feels like.
I was pattern mashing Gardner and Gartner.
Yeah.
I have my own hype cycle. Just
Yeah.
thought you all would want to know about it.
Good. I need to see the graph though, or else it's
What's different about mine is that there's
I
no
was looking
trough.
at the completely wrong list too. I scrolled to the wrong part of the doc.
yeah. You're on the previous one. Yeah, my hype cycle is pretty flat. It's not a lot of hype going on.
My hype cycle is constantly increasing, always up.
All right, good.
Mhm.
Oh, someone's got it going for them. All right. Yeah. Well, I have some takeaways from this, so that means I have more stuff to do, which is great. And unless anyone have last minute, agenda thing to take up, then I think we can. I can call it an evening.
Sounds good.
And depending on
Alright.
where
Nice to
you're at
see you all.
in the world, then take your
Have a good night.
morning, good night, whatever. All right.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.